What's up, YouTube land? Xano Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode of League Racing and for the Pro Am Formula Racing League. And we're here at the Spanish Grand Prix for round 4. So last week was round 3, Portugal. I unfortunately missed that event, so that's why I did not upload for the last couple weeks, or last week, because I didn't race. So, but we're back this week, and we're at Spain round 4. So after the first 2 rounds that I competed in, I haven't done so well. I've only picked up the 1 point so far, so hopefully looking for a better result here in Spain, the testing home for Formula 1, and honestly not one of my favourite tracks, but I seem to always have a good result around here. I had a podium in Pro Am Formula Racing here last year, so hopefully we can back that performance up this time year. That's going to be much more difficult. The competition is a lot more harder this year, I believe. Here's my first run in qualifying, and we spin on that curb there around the long right-hander of turn 12, so that wasn't ideal. And then same tyres, next lap, and I tried to go again, and I just couldn't get it right. And this time spin on the exit of turn 4, which was not ideal at all, so we didn't get a lap in here. So second set of tyres now, and we're finally getting a lap in here as we come through the final chicane and get that nicely sorted and come and run to the line. And our first proper lap time is a 1:16.977, which puts us up to 7th place, and that was a pretty decent lap. I was actually very happy with it, especially with where it put us in the field. And now we're going to come, and we're currently sitting in 9th. This is our final set of tyres, final run, as Face Montero retires from the session there, interestingly. But anyway, final set of tyres, final run, 30 seconds left, so we're currently sitting 9th, so let's see if we can improve our position on the grid as everyone else is on their final runs as well. And we get a decent run through the first corner, and we gain a little bit of time in the first sector here, not much though. Into turn 4, back to 4th gear, get it in nice and tight early on the throttle as possible, and all the way up to that curb now, turn 5, difficult corner, 3rd gear, locking the front left is a big issue. We get through there, fine, and now through 6 here, no problem, 7 and 8, very tricky how much curb to use. Back end goes very light, very easy to spin the car. Turn 9, little lift in the middle of the corner there, and open the DRS, and now on the run to turn 10, looking for the 100-meter board, back down the 2nd gear for turn 10, hitting the apex there nicely, smooth on the throttle, back end doesn't step out there nicely. Over the curb, had a little lift over the curb, not to loop the car, through turn 12 nicely, and into 13, 4th gear, then the final chicane, 2nd gear. Unfortunately here we pick up the throttle a little bit too early, drifts a little bit wide onto the curb, and we invalidate the lap, 2 tenths up. We've now dropped to 11th on the grid, and this lap won't count as 16.7, so that is really unfortunate. We're 11th on the grid, but having said that, now we can start on the medium compound tyre instead of, so I would rather that than start. I would have been 9th on the grid if that timeout had counted, so I'd rather that medium tyre than start 9th on a soft tyre. So in the end, that is a good result for us. So now going into the race strategy screen here, and it's a one-stop medium to hard, no bother. Very simple. The hards are a good tyre around this track, so take some fuel out, make sure the car is as light as possible, and it should be a good race. So now, as I was saying before, I missed last week in Portugal, and also haven't shown the driver standings yet this year, so we can do that all in one. So this will now flip to the last week's results are on the left, very left, and Fabian won again. And then the middle graphic is the Drivers' Championship. You can see we're down all the way in 16th, only scored the 1 point so far. It hasn't been good, and Ferrari has only scored the 5 points for the season. So we need to get going a little bit and score some more points. We're already a long way behind, so we need to do a lot better in the upcoming races here to get back on par in this championship. But we're starting here 11th on the grid, our best qualifying of the season, and hopefully...
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid...
Thank you, Jeff. Hopefully we can convert our best qualifying into some good points here today. So here we go. The round 4 of the Pro Am Formula Racing League is about to get underway here at Circuit de Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. And let's go here in Spain, and we get a decently good start on the medium tyres, but not as good as McLaren here on our right. And he immediately goes alongside. Now, braking into turn one, I was very conservative here. I didn't want to risk the front wing. And Big Boy here has a bit of a spin, and then we get collected here by the Red Bull, unfortunately, and we've gone spinning as well, and we are now right at the back here. There's 3 cars. There's me, Toss the Cabler, and Big Boy have all spun at the opening at turn 2, and it's really unfortunate. I don't know if Big Boy spun by himself or if he got contact from, I believe, the McLaren on his outside, and him spinning just made me hesitate and brake, and then go a little bit to my right, and the Red Bull swept around the outside at full pelt, and it wasn't Kev, it was the other Red Bull, and he unfortunately meant that I spun, and Kev's had some sort of issue at turn 9, and he qualified quite well, but yeah, unfortunately for him, he's had to get a new front wing. But you can see car spinning here. There's Primetime Race having a spin. You got Viet, having issues as well, and he's gonna let us by here into turn 10. So we are now all of a sudden back into 14th place after being 18th.
Brilliant. Nice move.
After turn 2. So, and now here's Ash. We almost do what we did in qualifying, spin on that curve, but we managed to save it this time. Ash as well having a moment. So we're now all of a sudden into 13th. We have a moment ourselves here, but that's okay. We gather that up and get back on with it. But also from the contact with the Red Bull, we've got freestyle up ahead here. We're closing on him, but from the contact from the Red Bull, it did mean that as the McLaren is in the pit lane, both McLarens are actually in the pit lane. But yeah, from the contact from the Red Bull though, we were able, we did pick up a little bit of front wing damage, and we did have a bit more understeer in the car, but it wasn't anything major. So I kept going for now, and it was fine. I felt it was fine. But here's the Red Bull Vectrex Spectre that we had the contact with at turn 2, but he's had his own little accident here, and he's going very slowly now. And he's got no front wing either, and we're going to easily pass him and now move up into 10th. So all of a sudden we're in the points after 5 laps with all the carnage. It's been a very hectic opening 5 laps of this Grand Prix, and the guys going which way and everywhere. So moving on to lap 6 now, we've got the DRS here on freestyle, maybe looking of an overtake. Vertex retires from the race, and now a safety car is deployed. So it's kind of what we needed to get back in the game here, and I'm going to immediately come in and put on the hard compound tyre, because I know the hard compound tyre, very good tyre around this track, as I was saying but at the start, and I believe it can get to the end of the Grand Prix. I've seen it being done in league races before, and so I'm going to give it a go here in this race. It happened in one of my league races around Spain when I was in Trans Nation about, I think it was maybe last year, maybe even 2 years ago. So I know it can be done, and I'm going to give it a go. We had to change the front wing. I left it on auto, and it changed the front wing. So it obviously did pick up some damage, but so now at least we know we got a good front end. Cost us a position to Raz, but that's fine. I'd rather have the front wing than one position be all normal. So we got a restart here on lap number 9. So we're going to go 24 laps on these tyres. It's a tall order, but I think it can be done. And very difficult to get these hard tyres up and going on the restart. You can see I have a huge slide out of the chicane, but Raz is struggling through the right-hander. He's really struggling. Now we've got a good slipstream, and we're going to use our battery here. We pull alongside Raz. He hasn't had a good run, a good restart here, and we immediately gain that position back on the opening straight, and he tries to go around the outside, but he just can't. So Face Pantera and Nukes have had an accident here at turn 2, and Face Pantera is out of the Grand Prix, the championship leader, and now Nukes, I believe his car is alright, so he continues. And now we've got another spinner there. It's a Williams and we managed to go into P8 now all of a sudden. So once again, just keeping it clean, and we're just gaining positions. That was my goal. No mistakes, keep it clean, and we don't have to pit again. That's the strategy almost at the moment there though on that curve. And Raz now thinks of an opportunity. There's no DRS for him to use through up to turn 10 here, so we should be able to hold position there. I don't think I need to defend, and I don't need to defend. So moving on to lap 12 here, and you can see Freestyle, he's actually disconnected from the lobby all of a sudden. That's unfortunate for him, and so this is going to now promote us to P7. We've got Big Boy and Nuke's behind. Nuke's 3.5 seconds behind, but he's closing on us. Nuke's one of the fastest guys this weekend, and has had his troubles, but he's catching back up. Now he has caught us, but we've also caught the back of Hervina here on lap 15. Hervina started to drop back from Magnum ahead, so his medium tyres are getting a bit second hand, and now I'm looking for a move on him on the main straight here, because we need to clear him, because we've got Big Boy behind on medium tyres, who's quicker than me, and Nukes is coming. Nukes is going to overtake Big Boy there, and he does so. So we both make overtakes.
Good job, nice
I believe
overtake.
Nukes has got past Big Boy in 7th. We move ourselves into 5th, and all these medium guys around me, I believe they're all stopping again. I know I'm not stopping again, so that's the advantage I have at this stage. So I'm actually just looking after my tyres. I'm not doing anything crazy. Here on lap 22, we've gone a long way. Nukes and Hervina had a bit of an accident. That's why they're a bit dropped off. Big Boy's still behind about that second. He pits though, and so does Racing Upta. So I'm now certain I'm going to beat these guys with 10 laps to go. I've got feeling pretty good still about my tyres. They're only at about, the front left is the worst tyre for the track, and at this stage it's only around maybe 35-40%, so it's still in pretty good shape. And now Magnum didn't pit, and from these next 3 laps I didn't start pushing until about lap 26, and then I realised he wasn't going to pit, so I started pushing, made sure I was within 3 seconds because he had the 3-second time penalty, but I also want to beat him on track just in case that time penalty gets removed. So that's the goal here, is to overtake him, and I know I've got better tyres than him. He's on really old mediums here, and here on lap 30 is the first time we get a bit of DRS service, and this brings us right up to the back of Magnum, and we're not going to be able to make the overtake here. Look at the closing speed we have. We're not going to be able to make the overtake here, but now we're right on the back of him. So yeah, his tyres are second hand. I started pushing and getting more lap time out of these tyres, and they were fine. So yeah, I've still got plenty of grip in these hard tyres. They've got Racing Upta. He went onto the soft tyres. He's closing. Nuke's 18 seconds behind isn't a factor. I mean, but it's same as Racing Upta. 7 seconds behind. 2.5 laps to go here. Here, Magnum gets out of the way. I don't know what he was doing here, to be honest. I think he was letting me through so he could get DRS. But yeah, he just gave me the position, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. That was a bit weird. I almost ran up to the back of him there. I'm not sure what game he was playing at there, but he then DRSs us here, but he's not close enough. We get a really good run out of the last chicane. We've got better tyres and better grip than him, so we're able to use that grip through the last chicane to pull away. And now coming on to the last lap of the Grand Prix here, he's going to have another go at us here, and he's 6 tenths behind. I turn my overtake off. I think I'm good. And then he's still coming, so I turn it back on, and I look, I'm like, oh, yeah, I should be alright. Brake normally, and then he has a huge dive bomb, it completely hits us. He actually spins out there, so a risky move, which with 3-second time penalty wasn't really on. So I don't know what he was really doing there, and we now have an easy drive home to a podium, an unexpected podium. Wasn't expecting it. I knew it was possible around lap 23 when all those guys pitted, so Felix wins the Grand Prix. Charlie drives home to a second place, a very well-earned second place for Charlie, a podium for him, and myself. I get an unexpected podium after being turned around on the opening lap, being pretty much at the back. A good drive after the safety car, good strategy, a well-earned driver of the day, I think, to be pretty much second last after the second corner, and then to drive with the safety car's help, obviously. A good drive on the medium, on the hard tyres there. Really consistent tyre all the way through. It was really good. There's not much highlights in this race, unfortunately. It was really quite boring drive after the safety car. After we got past Ovina, it was really a boring drive. And up until the last couple of laps, the second half of the race was just me driving as smoothly and quickly as possible. So here's the results. Felix wins, Charlie finishes in second, myself in third, 28 seconds behind. That's the gap Felix was able, and Charlie were able to pretty much pull on us, battling all those guys. So yeah, good job by them. Racing Upta actually gets a fourth. Magnum cost himself a position there, falling to fifth. Nukes in sixth. Big Boy, Hervina, Kev in ninth, and then the other McLaren in 10th. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode today. please leave a like. It's a very short one, but it's a good one. It's a podium. It's 15 points. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more content, and I'll see you all for the next one. Until then, goodbye.